If there is one issue that unites motorists across our country, and certainly across Buckinghamshire, it is that our roads are simply not good enough. In rural areas, roads are not a convenience, they are a necessity. They connect people to work, to school, to healthcare, to family. Yet too often, as we have heard in this debate this afternoon, those roads are deteriorating before our eyes. And the national picture is stark. As others have said, the backlog for road repairs now stands at £18.6 billion. Local, rural roads are resurfaced on average only once every 90 years. That is not maintenance, it is neglect. The AA recorded over 613,000 pothole-related call-outs in 2025, an average of 1,681 every single day. The RAC has reported a sharp surge this year, with February alone seeing over 6,000 pothole-related breakdown reports. Meanwhile, compensation claims to councils have risen by over 90% in just 3 years, yet the vast majority are rejected. Motorists are paying twice, once through their taxes and again through their repair bills. Firstly, we must recognise the growing strain on our road network. Much of our local infrastructure, particularly in rural counties like Buckinghamshire, was never designed for the volume or type of traffic those roads now carry. Many roads began life literally as cart tracks, without the deep foundations needed to withstand modern use. Then, the state-mandated transition to battery electric cannot be divorced from infrastructure realities. Electric vehicles are significantly heavier than their petrol and diesel equivalents, particularly in goods vehicles. The physics is simple. As weight increases, the damage inflicted on road surfaces increases exponentially. Yet there has been very little acknowledgement from government of how this increased wear will be managed or funded. We must also consider the impact of major infrastructure projects. In my own county, we are seeing the misery of this firsthand. HS2 has brought thousands of additional heavy goods vehicle movements onto rural roads that were never designed for such use. The result is roads being churned up at an alarming rate. Too often, the burden of repairing that damage falls on local authorities and local taxpayers, and that cannot be right. Where infrastructure projects cause damage, they must fix it. It is incumbent on HS2, as much as other projects, to fix what they break. We have seen that it can be done. Other projects, like East West Rail, have resurfaced rural roads where construction traffic has taken its toll. HS2 must follow that example. Next, there is the question of funding. In Buckinghamshire, there is a £210 million backlog in road repairs, alongside significant financial pressures on the council. Despite that, the council did carry out over 30,000 repairs last year and even released additional funding from reserves to try and tackle the problem, finding a highways repair budget of £120 million. But that is not sustainable, as this Labour government takes £44 million of spending power away from Buckinghamshire. And that is not unique, as we have heard from Oxfordshire and others. Across the country, councils are repairing millions of potholes each year, yet the backlog continues to grow. Even with increased national funding, the gap between what is needed and what is delivered remains substantial. We cannot continue to pile pressure onto a system that is already at breaking point. So what is needed is clear. We need honesty about the scale of the challenge. We need sustained, long-term spending that matches the backlog, not short-term sticking plasters. We are beyond pothole repair and into an era where we need full resurfacing. We need fair funding for areas facing significant infrastructure pressures, and all too often it is the rural communities that are being let down. And we need accountability so that those who damage our roads pay to repair them. Because for my constituents and for rural communities across the country, driving today feels less like a journey and more like navigating a patchwork obstacle course.